All right, just a quick video. I was cleaning out some bags in my vehicle, and I came across some old paperwork. And for those of you that have been avid viewers of my channel, you know that I started realizing that I was being gang stalked back in 2014. It was August of 2014. And back then, I didn't know anything about the term gang stalking or organized mobbing. I simply did a Google search online and just typed in a few things that I had been experiencing. Some of those things included like the one headlight vehicles, a lot of vehicles with their bright lights on the opposite side of traffic, also behind me, the extreme aggressive kind of like hostile behavior of people around me, the sabotages, the slandering, all those things that come with being targeted. I was experiencing those things at that time, and I didn't know anything about it. So that's when I came upon the term gang stalking online, and I realized that, wow, looking back on my life, in hindsight, that I've actually been going through this a lot longer than what I realized. I just didn't know it had a name, and I also did not know that there were other people that were going through the same thing. When you go through something like this in your life and you have no idea that other people are going through it, and you didn't know that it had a term or a name for it, oftentimes you wonder if there's something wrong with you. You question yourself. And I was just so glad that I was able to do research to find out that this is something that other people are going through, and that I wasn't alone. So in 2014, after being gang stalked and I was 2 months in, I decided to get myself a mental health evaluation. Now, mind you, I don't recommend anybody doing this, okay? I don't know if this person they didn't get to this person before I got the evaluation or what, but it turned out in my favor, okay? So I was 2 months in, and I have the paperwork to show you what I'm talking about. This is a progress note that this lady did, this mental health specialist that she came up with. I saw her for about 2 months, and I would see her like two to three times each week. And they were like hour and a half, 2-hour sessions, just sitting there talking to her and just, allowing her to get to know me and things of that nature. And this was the result of our meeting. So there's my name. There's the date. So that was October 7th, 2014. So that corroborates with my claim of, initially experiencing the gang stalking full throttle in August of 2014. There's the time frame that we had. Just to go over, I'm just going to read it. Let's see. So I was seen alone. There was nobody with me. I didn't have a sibling or mother or anybody else with me. So that's what that signifies there. The focus of treatment. So these are the options. I'll just read through everything. Difficulties with attention, focus, uncontrollable anger and rage, mood swings and irritability, poor academic functioning, anxiousness, excessive worry, difficulties with rules, authority, loss of interest, difficulties with social skills, abusing alcohol, drugs, running away, threatening to, it doesn't even finish that there, abusing alcohol or illicit drugs, PTSD symptoms, communication, hyperactivity or fidgetness, aggression towards others, destruction of property, difficulty getting along with peers, self-injurious behavior, frequent lying, stealing, difficulty handling change, delay in language development, hearing voices, seeing things that are not there, change in sleeping habits, parenting/rules, contracts, other. Then it goes on to say behavioral issues at school, rapid changes in mood, learning disabilities, depression, isolation, suicidal thoughts, behavior, breaking laws, engaging in ritualistic behavior, social inappropriate behavior, argumentative, grief, loss, stress management/coping skills. Okay. So obviously nothing was checked. So this is something that she was able to assess during our meeting with each other for the 2 months that we saw each other. So none of those things were an issue with me. Okay. So the whole reason for this encounter or meeting with this woman was for a mental assessment, mental evaluation. Okay. Then we go on to mental status. Dress grooming was neat and clean. Eye contact was good. Mood was appropriate. Effect was appropriate. Activity level, what is this? Activity level during interview was calm. Attitude towards interview was cooperative. Insight, awareness of problems, consequences, and causes was excellent. Okay, so these were things that this woman checked off that she was able to observe during our encounters with each other. And so, yeah, treatment plan, problem goal addressed. What she wrote was problem solving and coping skills to terminate ongoing harassment. And I gave her a full account of exactly what I was dealing with. I articulated it perfectly. I spoke intelligently. I was always well dressed and neat and clean and well, shaved. And I just explained to her what I was experiencing. And this lady was able, using her skills, able to pick up on the fact that, she wasn't talking to a person who was insane or crazy. Like there was legitimately something going on. I even went as far as showing this woman some of the videos that I had, and she was also able to connect the dots to see that there was a common trend of harassment that was going on. Okay. What's next after that? Therapeutic approach, interventions attempted. She wrote informal assessment, evaluation. Progress toward goal. The options were improved, stable, no improvement, regressed, and other. She checked stable. So that's where that's at right there. And what else? Client response to session, very cooperative, aware, alert. Risk assessment was no risk to himself or others. That's important to note. Additional information plan at this time, client is fearful of his safety. And that's pretty much it. That's the signature of the mental health specialist, and that's the date, the conclusion of our session. So I was able to prove to this woman with the video footage evidence that I had and just from conversating with her, and I saw her for 2 whole months. Again, it was like 2 to 3 times a week. Hours are like between 1 or 2 hour sessions, just sitting and talking with this woman. Okay, so we're not crazy. None of us that are going through this are crazy, okay? Sometimes you may come across these individuals who are in on what's going on, and they are coerced into giving you a false diagnosis of having a mental illness. So I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. I'm not encouraging anyone to go out and get a psychological evaluation because, again, you never know who's in on it and who's not. So you have to be very careful with that. I just happened to luck out with an individual who just saw it for what it was and knew that I wasn't insane. Okay. Now, for those of you that have watched my channel for a while, you know that I posted a video about an encounter that I had with the FBI in reference to the Louisiana shooter, Gavin Eugene Long. The FBI knew that I had spoken to this guy. He reached out to me initially, Gavin Eugene Long, and we pretty much had the same type of experiences going on. I've never had any thoughts, of course, of going out and committing any mass shootings or anything of that nature, but the news media pretty much said that this guy went to Louisiana, and he was there to promote a book that he had written. He would visit different hoods or ghettos across the country to try to uplift black people and to, just have talks with them about doing better for themselves and things of that nature. So, of course, when you're an individual like that, you're going to get watched by the government, because they don't want any kind of messiahs rising, especially from the poor areas. They don't want nobody rising from that kind of environment, to try to make a change. So, of course, he was being watched. And he was a very intelligent individual. I spoke with him only 2 times on the phone. So just a couple of times I spoke with this guy on the phone. The FBI came and picked me up. It was 2 special agents. I don't recall what the other agent's name was, but one of them was Special Agent Glenn Gregory of the Federal Bureau of Investigation out of Houston. Okay, so these guys came and picked me up from At the time, I was living with a cousin. Came and picked me up from my cousin's house. They took me to Bush Intercontinental Airport, and I had a meeting with them, and they basically asked me about any additional information that they may not know about Gavin Eugene Long. You know, was he a part of any other groups? Was he involved in any type of terroristic activity? And like, you know, they asked me a plethora of questions, you know, trying to do their investigations. And I pretty much told them that this dude did not give me the impression that he would actually go out and do something like that. So I was at a loss as far as like what to say in reference to that, because I didn't know him to be that type of individual. So I used that as an opportunity to speak about my gang stalking. I told him, look, the only thing I had in common with this dude was what he was experiencing in his life. You know, I know what I'm experiencing is real. I'm just giving you an account of what